Who's there? I can't see you.
Your most ardent admirer, fair maid.
Uh-huh. And do you have a name?
To murderous wrath she gives birth, leaving...
To numerous brats she gives birth, leaving no peas for the serf.
There you are, you seducer! Now you'll see how a butcher protects his daughter's honor.
Buy me time!
Hey folks, Dave here, and I am back from Gamescom in Germany with coverage of a bunch of upcoming games that I am super excited about. I'm going to start things off here with some coverage of the upcoming Kingdom Come Deliverance DLC, but also watch for some coverage of Battlefield 5 and a couple of other games later on this week. At Gamescom, I got to meet up with Toby and the rest of the Kingdom Come dev team once again, and we got a hands-on preview of this upcoming DLC, which is heavily going to feature one of your favorite characters from the main game, Sir Hans Capon. If you enjoyed the writing and overall shenanigans from those quests, this DLC is going to be about 10 to 15 hours of similar shenanigans to fill out your Kingdom Come playtime. And of course, I have to mention that as always, the Kingdom Come guys are on point with the in real life immersion as well. They brought Sir Wenceslas microbrew beer from the Czech Republic with them, along with bottled versions of the savior schnapps that you use to save your game inside of Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, unfortunately, my preview of the DLC was on day 3 of Gamescom, and they were almost out of the savior schnapps, so my take-home bag with all the B-roll footage and goodies did not have the savior schnapps, so I guess my real-life save game is just doomed. As always, it was awesome to meet up with the Warhorse team and see just how truly enthusiastic they are about the extra content that they're working on here for Kingdom Come Deliverance. These guys really are passionate about the game, and in the hands-on preview, we got to see a few bits and pieces of that estimated 10 to 15 hours of gameplay. Before I talk more about that, I also want to mention that this update is going to come with a free patch for the game, which is going to add the long-awaited tournament mode, which was promised back in the original Kingdom Come Kickstarter. Again, that's going to be free for everyone, and that's going to involve a tournament taking place there at Rattay, where you can see the world actually changing. The tournament will be set up, you can watch NPCs fight, and of course you can then compete in different weapon categories in the tournament yourself as Henry. It was also confirmed for us there at the preview that if you win all the stages of that tournament, there is a complete unique set of armor that you're going to get as a reward. It sounds like you're going to get it one piece at a time, and if you complete all of the tournament, you do get that complete set. In the tournament, you're going to be able to pick your favorite weapon to start out with, but then your opponent gets to pick their favorite weapon, and finally, if there is a third round of combat, the local lord gets to pick his favorite weapon for the final bout of combat. For the story-based premium DLC, again, it's going to focus on Sir Hans Capon once again, and it's going to involve helping him out with a bit of romantic courtship, as he describes it in the French fashion. From what we saw in the preview, it's going to involve quite a lot of fantastic and pretty funny dialogue, where you're going to have to work with the charlatan from the base game to get him a love potion, you're going to be solving some murder mysteries, you're going to be investigating a gambling den, and all of these different pieces are going to come together with a final attempt at courtship after you help Hans plant the seed of love for his fair maiden, and you're going to have a Romeo and Juliet moment outside of her window where you're going to have to feed Sir Capon poetry. And you're going to have to remember the poetry from a book that you were given to study earlier and try and string it together to make a cohesive poem. And of course, for the most part, Sir Hans is going to butcher it pretty thoroughly, but there's a bunch of different options that we were shown over the course of our preview of how these dialogue trees can work out. There's a bunch of different reactions that you can get, both from the target of Sir Capon's courtship, as well as her father, and local members of the town, and other characters that you meet along the quest. There's going to be options for players who are interested in more combat, players who want to perhaps gamble their way into success, and even, we were told, a lot of options for players who want to see more of those speech checks. All in all, the DLC looks fantastic, just like the previous offerings for the game, and I cannot wait to see more content dropping for this fantastic game. For now, I'm going to leave you guys with a preview of an earlier version of this DLC. Just keep in mind that it's still about a month and a half off. Warhorse is saying this is coming out in, I believe they said, late summer, early fall, so it's got about a month and a half left to go. So things like dialogue, motion capture on the mouse, that stuff's not finished just yet. It's all a work in progress, but here you go, guys. Here's a bit of a preview. Enjoy, and I'll see you all next time.
Greetings. What do you need?
Are you planning some new adventure by any chance, Sir Hans?
What makes you think that?
Well, no particular reason. It just seems like every day is an adventure for you.
True. And you're quite right. I am indeed in pursuit of a new adventure. An amorous adventure. Not the kind you can buy at the bathhouse for a handful of groschen. And last time I got more than I bargained for there. Are you prepared to help me, and I hope you do a better job than last time, on my quest to win true unsullied love?
Sounds like fun. I'm all ears.
You, Hal, shall be my messenger of love. You shall bear her a letter and a gift from a secret admirer.
But why me? It's not like you to be bashful, Sir Hans. You can just go and tell her,
Certainly not. Carolina is different to the others. She was educated in a convent and needs to be handled with kid gloves. Romanced. I must court her secretly. It's the latest fashion in France.
And who is this Carolina?
The fairest maid that ever walked the earth. Carolina. The butcher's daughter. You must have noticed a divine creature in the marketplace. Unless you're more interested in barnyard animals.
Carolina. I do know her. She's a pretty girl, all right, but, well, a little below your station.
Love knows no station but the heart. And you keep your peasant eyes off her. Your task is simple. All you have to do is get hold of a necklace fine enough to grace her lovely neck. I did have one that I inherited from my great-grandmother. Unfortunately, not anymore.
What happened to it?
I lost it playing dice at the inn. But you'll get it back for me. You're a smart lad. I'm sure you'll figure out a way. And I'll reward you handsomely.
Oh, all right then. Is there something else I should know about this necklace?
I lost it at dice in the Ledechko Tavern when I was there to see... Well, that's not important.
It looks like someone went this way with a nobleman's horse. Looks like he died without a struggle. Maybe killed in his sleep. They took everything he had. Money, jewellery, even his boots.
Are you after something? I'm afraid my friend here won't tell you much.
Your friend? Oh, I'm very sorry. And, well, I don't want to be insensitive, but I was hoping to get something from him. My master's necklace, which he won at dice.
Your master? Who would that be?
Well, Sir Radzig Cobbler of Skalitz is my liege lord. I'm Henry, but just now I'm helping Sir Hans Capon with a private matter.
Those are weighty names in these parts. I'm Sir Anselm of Domkey, in the service of... Well, that's not important. I'd like to give you... that is... I'd like to ask you for your help.
I'm listening. Tell me what you know.
I will. And I'm sure it will help you find that necklace. The thing is, this is all my fault. I got held up on the way to meet Alphonse. By the time I got here, I found him like this.
God have mercy on his soul.
Amen, lad. I was heartbroken and enraged by turns, tearing my hair and cursing. Alphonse was my good friend, and it pains me to know he was only here on account of me. I brought him into a certain business matter to negotiate with some people, and he agreed. And this is how it ended up. When I finally pulled myself together, I took a look around and found some tracks. I followed them to the camp of those very brigands that Alphonse was supposed to negotiate with.
Nah, you can't trust anyone these days. So how can I help?
You can pass yourself off as Alphonse. Get into the bandits' camp and find that fucking murderer. And when you do, you'll find what you're looking for.
I got you that potion from the charlatan.
What charlatan? He's a man of learning who even cured the Pope of impotence. But thanks, Henry. I really appreciate your help. Once I drink this potion, every woman will faint at my feet. But I'm only interested in one. The fairest creature on God's green earth.
Yeah, the butcher's daughter, I know. And then what?
A rendezvous. She and I, under the cloak of night. And you shall be my herald of exalted words. You will hide and prompt me from a book of poetry.
I'll do what?
Here's a book of poems. I'll need a little time to get ready. Meanwhile, you can learn some poems off by heart. You'll prompt me.
Learn poetry? Me? That sounds... well, not exactly...
Stop wasting time and get to it. Come back to me in a couple of hours. I have to get dressed up and groomed, and it'll take a while before the potion takes effect.
Are you ready, Sir Hans?
Henry, something's gone wrong.
Open up. I'm not going to talk to the door.
That potion tasted rather odd, and now I have a feeling my face is broken out. How do I look?
You're imagining it, sir. You look as irresistible as ever, if not more.
But I feel as if I just fell face first into a nettle patch.
Well, you're just a little flushed from the excitement. It'll pass.
If you're sure. So, what do you think? Can we go to the rendezvous?
Why wait? Carolina won't be able to resist you.
All right, then. Lead on, heart. And you, Henry, follow me. We're almost there. You'll hide behind a gravestone or in the bushes and don't budge from there. Otherwise, you might scare her off.
Hide, Henry. Time to get started.
Who's there? I can't see you.
Your most ardent admirer, fair maid.
Uh-huh. And do you have a name?
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would still be a flower, wouldn't it? Start. How?
To murderous wrath she gives birth, leaving...
To numerous brats she gives birth, leaving no peas for the serf.
There you are, you seducer! Now you'll see how a butcher protects his daughter's honor.
Buy me time.
You got some explaining to do, you bastard!